we're now looking at target 3.8 Mastery Learning Objective. I can identify the center and radius of a circle from the equation to graph the circle on a coordinate plane. Okay. So yesterday we looked at the standard form, or what we call the center radius form. Now we're going to look at what we call the general form, sorry. Okay. So in order to do that, right, we aren't given that center and radius form, so we have to put it in center and radius form so we can pull out the center and the radius. So some important things we need to know about are perfect square trinomials. Perfect square trinomials are something that are a plus b squared. Right, and a plus b squared is the same as a plus b times a plus b. And if I multiply this, right, I get a squared plus ab, and then, the b to the a and the b to the b, plus ab plus b squared. Okay, so this is, again, just FOILing. So that's a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Okay, so this is a perfect square trinomial. So then we have this method called completing the square, which finds b squared to create a perfect square trinomial. We'll kind of look at that. You did completing the square last year with quadratics, right? It was one of the ways of solving quadratics or finding the vertex form of something. So you might kind of recognize it once we start doing it. I am going to show two different ways. So let's looking at our first example. Step 1, move constant. So the constant is this number that doesn't have any variable with it. So we want it on the other side. So instead of subtracting 80, I'm going to add 80. So I have x squared minus 2x plus y squared equals 80. Step 2, group x's and y's, such as x squared plus kx, some number, k is just representing a number, plus blank, right, or y squared plus ky plus blank. Okay, we don't know what those blanks are. Those blanks are what we're filling in, right? So in this case, right, I have x squared minus 2x plus blank plus y squared doesn't have anything else, so I don't have to group it, right? There is no just y. Then, anything I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. So I filled in a blank here, so I have to fill in a blank here. Now I want to find this number. There's two ways to do it. They're kind of the same idea. One's a little more visual than the other. So I can take k divided by 2 and square it. Okay, that would give me this number. Or kind of have a visual method. We create this box. Okay? And then for this example, I'll do this example here. I have x squared, which is x times x, negative 2x needs to go in these two boxes. So that's this divided by 2 step. And then that goes on the outside. And now I'm just figuring out what's in here by multiplying. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. That's the squaring it step. Okay? So do you have to create this box every time? No. As you're starting, it's a really good visual to see where these numbers are coming from. Okay? Alright, so I have to put that blank in both spots. Rewrite perfect square trinomial. Sorry, ran out of room a little bit. So I like this box because then, hey, look, what I have is on the outside. This is x minus 1 times x minus 1, which is x minus 1 squared. And I can just combine these. 80 plus 1 is 81. From here, I'm done. I can find my center and my radius. So my center that negative 1 turns into 1, and y squared was, there's nothing with it, so it's 0. Radius, the square root of 81. And we can square that, and we get 9. So it's not too bad. They are a little long, though. So let's look at another example. Example 2. So same thing, I'm going to start by moving my 5 over. So I'm going to subtract 5. So I have x squared plus y squared minus 6y equals negative 5. Now if you look, x squared is just by itself. But I do want to group up my y's. So now I'm completing this square. X squared doesn't have to be completed. Okay. So again, y squared. Then I take my negative 6 here. Well, negative 6y divided by 2 is negative 3y. Y times negative 3, y times negative 3. And negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. So 9 goes here, and 9 goes here. So now I have x squared plus, this y squared minus 6y plus 9 is really the same as y minus 3 times y minus 3. So that's y minus 3 squared. And negative 5 plus 9 is 4. Again, if you're getting the hang of it, you don't have to draw the box every time. Look, I divided by 2, got negative 3, and then I square it, and that's how I get the 9. And that's maybe how you learned it last year, too. But again, this is probably one of the most confusing things in algebra, so having that visual is very helpful if you would like to draw the box. Okay. Now I just need to pull out my center and my radius. Well, there's nothing with x, so that's 0. And then negative 3 turns to positive 3, right? My radius is the square root of 4, which equals 2. All right, let's look at example 3. Use completing the square to find the center and radius of x squared minus 8x plus y squared plus 2y minus 8. So same thing, I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So I have x squared minus 8x plus y squared plus 2y equals 8. Now I need to group my x's and my y's. Here, I do have x's and I do have y's, so I need to group both of them. Now, if you look, I added a blank here and a blank here. So on this side now, I need to add 2 blanks, because anything I do to one side, I'm going to have to do to the other. Now, with completing the square, let's do our x first. X squared is x times x. Negative 8x split into 2 boxes is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 4 is 16. Same thing with my y's. I have y squared, which is y times y. Positive 2y split into 2 is 1 and positive 1, right? Positive 1 and positive 1. So that means there's a positive 1 here, a positive 1 here. 1 times 1 is 1. Now our x's, right, we have x minus 4 and x minus 4. So that's x minus 4 squared. For our y's, we have y plus 1 and y plus 1, which is y plus 1 squared. And if I add up all of these, I get 25. Now we have our center radius form. Our center is 4, negative 1. And our radius is the square root of 25, which equals 5. All right, let's look at the next page. Looking at example 4, same type of thing. Here, that's okay. So again, I'm going to start by moving that 120 to x squared plus 2x plus y squared minus 24y plus 120. Let's do minus 120 on both sides. So we have x squared plus 2x plus y squared minus 24y equals negative 120. Again, we're going to rewrite it with those parentheses. So we have x squared plus 2x plus blank plus y squared minus 24y plus blank equals negative 120. If I draw my 2 boxes, right, my first box with x's is x squared, which is x times x. This 2x, I have to divide it by 2, right, and we get 1. Okay, and we get 1x here and 1x here. So that's 1 and 1. And 1 times 1 is 1. 1 here. Oops, I forgot my blanks here. For my y's, same type of thing. Negative 24y divided by 2. So I have negative 12y and negative 12y. All right, we're splitting that into 2 boxes. So I have negative 12 and negative 12. If I multiply those together, I get 144. Rewriting it with the outside, I have x plus 1 squared. Right, from those two x plus 1s, plus, and then I have y minus 12 squared. Equals, if I add all of these up, I believe you get 25. And from here, I can pull out my center and my radius. So center, this 1 changes to negative 1. This negative 12 changes to 12. For my radius, the square root of 25 is 5. So it has a center of negative 1, 12, and a radius of 5. We're going to skip example 5. It's just like what we just did. We're actually going to go down to example 6, which is everywhere, right? It has things on, it's not like the same order as the ones we've seen. So, in order to do these problems, there's just an extra step. I first want to get it in the same order. What I do is everything on the right, I move over to the left. Okay. So I have plus y squared. I'm going to add a y squared over here. Plus x squared. Plus 24x. Okay. And then I put it in the right order of what we're used to. So, x squared comes first, I've used that. Then come my x's. Okay, I've used that. Then usually come my y squareds. Then come my y's. Then my constant. Now, this is exactly like the problem we've done before. So I'm going to subtract 137 from both sides. And we have x squared plus 24x plus y squared plus 6y equals negative 137. Add in our blanks, we have x squared plus 24x plus blank plus y squared plus 6y plus blank equals negative 137 plus blank plus blank. Creating our lovely boxes, or squares to complete, we have x squared, which is x times x. Splitting 24x in 2, I get 12x and 12x. And if I multiply those together, I get 144. Same with my y's. Splitting this 6y in 2, I get 3y and 3y. And 3 times 3 is 9. And this is my 144 over here. So then I have x plus 12 over here. And we have y plus 3 over here. Give me 1 second. Which equals 16.
What class is that?
Hold on. Shh, it's recording. So then we have for our center we have 12 and 3. So negative 12 and negative 3. And our radius is the square root of 16, which is 4. Alright, we'll do number 7 in class tomorrow. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow.